Yeah. All right, guys. Okay. Thanks for joining. Okay. Let's get start today agenda. So part of this curriculum, which I shared, we are just starting to the past modules first of all. Okay. So we do have infrastructure as a service and platform as a service and the software as a service, right? So let me start, 2 to 3 classes for the past module so that you'll understand, how complexity and whether we are able to, easily to sustain or, easily to understand or not. We can just, have a glance of information. Then after that, we'll start infrastructure as a service. So why I'm starting is basically a platform as a service, it is new for us. Those who are already working, database and developer and admin, so they're pretty much aware the, environment related stuff. But when you go for this platform as a service, okay, so a little bit of, new concept and the new things, but this is not that much of, complexity, to be honest. Okay, so this is very easy to understand. Only the thing is you just need to understand the navigation part and, the terminology which we discussed yesterday, so that we just need to understand it. Okay, so as I said yesterday, just, walk through this, portal navigation and all, how to create your free trial subscription, and post that, I just navigated to the web portal. Okay, so this kind of portals, across the all platforms, like, not only for the Azure, okay, GCP and the, AWS and Alibaba, whatever you are going to take the portal, that most of the, portals we are in a web based only. Okay, so if you are more, precise to do this, in a um, command prompt, the PowerShell command shell, we do have, option over here. Okay, so you can deploy your, workloads over here by using of that. Also we are going to explore it. Okay, so whatever the next upcoming modules we have, that we are going to explore by using of the command shell as. Okay, so that's what. So now let's jump into this today agenda. Basically we just need to understand uh, the resources standpoint of, right. So here we have, uh, top bar where we can able to see this, uh, support configuration. If you have facing any issue and you are stuck, okay, so when we are going to go support and troubleshooting model, basically in a past model only we are going to do some support model. Okay, so infrastructure as a service, most of the things we can able to solve it. Okay, but only for the network and the storage related stuff will, support for the Microsoft. But when you go for the past model, you are only just, managing of your data. So the underlying, hardware component, network component, everything is taken care by the cloud vendor, right? So that's what, in that aspect, you don't have any option to do troubleshoot, and even you cannot able to do modification. Okay, so that's what will go for the support ticket. Okay, it's a simple. Okay, so you just need to give your, subscription details and all, and the problem information, and you just need to give some, two-line description and give whatever you are facing is. So if you guys is aware, normally how we are going to raise, on-premises SQL Server issues. Okay, so the same kind of approach here. But here we have, different plans for support model. Okay, basic model, standard model, and the premium model. So basic, if you are in a free trial subscription, so that is bare minimum support will get. Okay, but in a standard and the premium support will get, some, 4 hours SLA, and the premium support, it is going to dedicatedly assigning Microsoft guy, okay, manager. So you are the point of you can able to directly point of contact, connect and resolve your issue. So that you just should to make sure in a support point of. Okay, so this is as I said, you just need to configure how to appear here. Okay, so your directories, and if you have the multiple subscription over here, you can able to see this, and you can able to redirect over here. So this is one kind of approach. The appearance, let's say if you want to make this your portal appearance, okay, you can give this one. It's a kind of our desktop, how we are going to configuring. That is the main agenda here. Okay, so this is a notification bar, as I already updated as last call. Okay, so and we do have this option, the directories and subscription. If you want to move from settings and all, it is going to help us to make this. Okay, this is shell command shell. Okay, so where we can able to use to create your all workloads instead of portal. We can directly go and create it. This is we are going to leverage in upcoming modules. Okay, so let's jump into the left side panel. Okay, so where we have most of the things from the bottom to we are going to explore it. As I said, this the help and the support model we have directly here. Okay, so if you can see this, support plans is basically we can easily to identify what are the support plans we have, so which one we are going to do. So here we just have basic developer standard and the professional direct support we have. Okay, so the basic thing, we don't have price cost over here. Okay, so on the developer, the standard and the professional director, we have some price cost. Okay, if you can see the bottom, there is a 29 USD and 100 USD and 1000 USD. So most of the enterprise level, okay, so they will go for professional director option. Okay, so in the standard option. Okay, so if it is in like your environment is not that much of complicated, they will go for the standard option. Okay, if it isn't very critical, definitely they will go and take the support directly here. So here is actually we have critical dependencies, as well as the Microsoft director person will be available to manager going to assign to you. You just coordinate with them, and whatever the services, and if you have any recommendation, and if you have some sort of mm, implementation plan, whether it is supporting or not, to let's say you have your architecture design with you. Okay, whether it is appropriate to implement or not. Likewise, you can able to take the suggestion as well in the professional direct option. So this is all about the support model, where you can able to, it's a simple thing to how we are going to create the service ticket and all. Okay, so let's explore that part. I'm just giving options to exploring over here. Okay, so other thing is, as I said, the cost management and the billing. Okay, so the cost perspective. Okay, so we can able to see this, we can able to export this one. Okay, so yesterday class we discussed about the resource group related. So the subscription, it is entry point of your cloud landscape. Okay, it's a authorized platform to in a subscription point of. Okay, to isolate your environment, like production, development, test. Okay, so that kind of isolation we have, you can able to go and make your environment segment to the resource group point of. Okay, that is the core component, is basically it is going to happen. Okay, so with that resource group, it is easy to understand your billing prospect of. Okay, so that will be environment based. We can able to segment the resource group location wise, country wise, whatever you are flexible. Okay, so that you can able to do resource group creation. Okay, now coming to this, cost management is basically what it is going to happen. In the overview panel, where we can able to see, okay, the currency and the billing information, and we do have last billed amount. I just this is my pay as you go subscription model which I have. So I just paid for the 1400 rupees. Actually, this is not free trial subscription. Okay, so the invoice where we can able to give it, and it is an activate. The current cost is in 5 rupees 57. Okay, likewise you can able to do overview part. Okay, and Here the subscription information, where it is going to happen, the notification, and the currency also it is there. So if you can go for the cost management, basically it will give glance of information in a resource group wise, resource wise, also it is going to give us. Okay, so let me show you that actually. Okay, so so here is my subscription information where you can able to go and see the subscription details. Okay, so we can able to create the cost alerts as well. Okay, so just expand this information. So I have some two resource group yesterday created. So each resource group is containing of pricing information. So this is day wise pricing they are going to calculating to me, so that you can able to export and do the customize and download here the billing information. And also you can able to do the cost alert as well. Okay, so let's say your production environment is there, so you just make to configure that by adding of the cost limit, also we can able to set. Okay, let's say 500 5000 USD of production and development and the test. Okay, some test environment, if you are making open, maybe somebody has unwantedly created a few of the things. Okay, so unfortunately they forgot to delete that one, so the cost is going to increase. So in such case, if you are going to create this cart alert configuration, okay, so that it is going to help us to identify to make your environment to limited the price factor. Okay, so here also we can able to see that invoice information and the payment methodology, how we are going to pay. So it is just for having of information of the cost management and the billing prospect we can able to see. Okay, so this is all about the cost management and billing. We'll walk through this once after the creation of the resources and all, step by step process. We have separate dedicated model that on that one also we are going to explore it. And here we have Microsoft Defender for the cloud. Okay, it's basically in the Microsoft end. Okay, so it is going to protect your security feature. Okay, and it will help us to detect any vulnerabilities and any attacks, that we can able to protect your environment. So this is going to best feature for the security aspect. For the database standpoint of how we are going to enforce this security compliance and all, so we just walk through that this part as well. Okay, so how extent we can able to leverage this feature. Okay, so this advisor part is basically, let's say you have created one workload. Okay, so that if you want to optimize and do some sort of cost optimization and security compliance related, let's say if you go for the security related, it is going to capture our environment, give the recommendation. As of now I don't have any workloads like database storage kind of thing, but if you have such kind of things, it is going to give the recommendation and the performance also. Okay, so if you go for the all the recommendation, it is going to give some list of recommendation for us based upon our usage environment. Okay, so that this is kind of recommendation related stuff, advisor. Okay, and the monitoring prospect of, okay, so typically in on premises what we will do, let's say your Windows server and applications database will configure third party tools like Foglight and other third party tools, Redgate and all, right? So that that tools we have in inbuilt. Let's say if you have already existing tools with you, that we can able to um, leverage here. Okay, so you can able to integrate it into this. And also Microsoft itself, there is monitoring aspect of it is going to give us. So let's see here the application, if you want to configure application monitoring, and you can able to integrate your DLs or specific user or your tech lead or respect to point of contact, also that alert it is going to happen. And here also the virtual VM also we can able to monitor, and the storage, containers, networks, SQL, have a lot more feature to enhance enhance monitoring aspect to leverage this feature as well. Okay, so we have SQL monitoring also. This has got recently introduced. Okay, so how we are going to do the monitoring aspect of this SQL also we are going to explore in this upcoming modules. Okay, so coming to this Microsoft Intra ID. So it's a kind of Azure AD. Okay. So if you guys is enterprise level, typically what we will do. Okay. So we'll just go and use our Active Directory users and DS, right? So in a Azure also we have default directory, but if you have custom domain, you can able to integrate that user logins. Okay, so how it is going to happen? It is going to sync your on-premises IDs within Azure AD, so that you can able to explore it your access point from your domain accounts as well. At this moment, what we are going to exploring this intra ID. Okay, so with respect to SQL, what exactly we are going to do? We'll just use our Windows authentication. It means Azure AD authentication as well as a SQL authentication. We do have an mixed option. We can use for the three options like mixed authentication, Windows authentication. Actually, we have on-premises SQL authentication, Windows authentication, mixed mode. Okay, so here also we have, but it is not in a Windows authentication. It is an Active Directory authentication process we are going to use. So the list of the user you can able to create here, and you can able to add multiple users into a specific thing. Okay, you can able to do that kind of aspect. Okay, so this will also we are going to explore it. The most important thing is a network part. So as a SQL database administration guy, we are going to focus network concept as well in a some extent. Okay, why? Because some sort of connectivity part will be there. So the business use case, let's say the current existing, which I'm currently doing migration Sunday. Okay, so basically the thing is that what this is small database, but the connectivity establishment is as same as for the critical application. Basically what we will do, it is easily to understand. Here is our cloud landscape. Okay, so the approach, what exactly we are doing. Okay, so this is my Azure subscription we do have. I'll show that what exactly it is. Okay, in a existing environment. Okay, so okay. And here we just simply have only the application. This is pass completely. This is pass. That's what I'm just want to exploring here. Okay, so we do have SQL as well, a SQL managed instance. Okay, this is Azure SQL MI. We'll explore it. Azure, what is Azure SQL MI and Azure SQL? We'll explore it. Okay, so app service. Okay, and this is on premises. Okay, so there is a lot of applications we have. Okay, uh, and we do have the database as well. So the requirement is basically they're just part of the one application they migrated. Uh, still the database and some applications is running currently in the on premises only. Okay, here is my on premises center data center, right? So the point is here. Okay, so uh, in this migration use case, what we did is basically only application app and DB migration is happened. Okay, which is Azure SQL MI, right? So it is we did at this moment UAT, and UAT is everything tested is working fine. Now we are planning to this week for the production environment. Okay, so why I'm stressing is basically okay. So Since this all 2 to 3 applications is still in on premises, okay, only the one application is migrated here, PaaS environment, okay, including the one database instance, okay. They're using in this instance only 2 databases, okay, not much we have, okay. So just for only 2 database in this managed instance. So now the client requirement is basically he wants to connect okay, from on premises one of the SQL server, okay. So which is going to scope of boundary with so site to site and a point to site configuration information we require, okay. So we just configured a site to site, point to site, okay. So here is site to site we configured. Why? Because okay, so this application, okay, some data is connecting to this Azure SQL MI, okay, and we have 2 databases. It is fetching data from DB1 and DB2, okay. So and it is going to fetch that some data on premises database as well, okay. So this is the connectivity in the landscape design. It is going to happen. Apart from that, we do have storage account, and we do have application inside and security implication. Lot more things we have stencils, so create landscape design as well. That is the thing. So how we are going to migrate it, what the steps we followed, it's all depend upon the client customer requirement, okay. The point is here why I'm stressing the we can able to create point to site and the site to site or express route. We have 3 modules we can able to configure to explore it, but it's all depend upon the client requirement, how they want to connect, okay. If it is an only one way connectivity, we can able to configure the point to site, okay. If required two-way connectivity, you will use for the site to site configuration. And express route is as same as an site to site, but it is in a dedicated release line kind of thing, okay. So you may aware of banking sectors and any some critical data centers and critical customers they are going to use for the express route, okay. So I am not aware of that express route kind of thing, but I am purely aware of site to site and point to site configuration. We are going to implement that one. So the point why we are going to know this network layer as well, okay, because of we should know the ports configuration, port whitelisting. That information network people does not know. As a SQL database admission guy, okay, you have to give them, okay, if you have customized port or you are using a specific port, okay, apart from that 14335022, and we do have couple of ports need to configure or whitelist in a site to site configuration, okay. That's what we are going to do some exploring on this which VNet configuration as well, okay. And the storage component, why we are going to use the storage component, let's take the same example, okay. Why? Because this mm, this migration process, okay, we have a lot of options basically, okay. So we can use for the couple of migration tools, okay. Storage account, okay, we can use for the migration tools, okay. We have native methods, okay. So backup, restore, okay. And we do have a data migration assistant and DMS, okay. So data migration services. We do have data studio. Recently it is got massive enhancements is done. It is very beautiful to use. It is very easy to understand and just step by step process, okay. uh okay. So and we do have a link service, okay. SQL MI, okay. So okay. So we can able to configure like, SQL AZ, and we do have in like, data sync. So we have a lot more option. Okay, so but our scenario, it is very easy. Okay, client has given plenty of downtime. Okay, so I'm just doing some, our traditional method of backup restore here. Okay, so not even it is in a 100 GB. Okay, so one database is 80 GB, the other database is 300 GB. So simple what we did. Okay, so we have a storage aspect of the file share. I just attached one of their on-premises server. Okay, so we just copied that one. It is available in the store. Once it is in storage, from there you can able to restore it. Okay, this is one kind of approach that currently I'm using current project migration. Okay, so the other approach is DMA services as well. Okay, you can able to free tool install it and use for the assessment as well as the migration. So just if I forgot to update, we do have Azure Migrate. Okay, Azure Migrate service also. So there is a lot more services we have. We just need to explore which one is the best suit for your migration approach. Okay, based upon that, so in a real time, just try to avoid complications. Okay, you just convey the customer and all, so that you can easily to avoid some complication this migration process and all. Okay, so that is the one thing I can highlight here. Okay, so we just using for the backup restore option, so that we just going to migration this weekend. So other thing is DMS services, data studio, MI-Link services, Azure always on high availability group, data sync replication. You can use based upon approaches. Okay, so the point is here why the storage account is required. All this scenario, it is going to dependent of 80% of the dependency with the storage account. Okay, so and this 80%, if you have, okay, it is a simple straightforward. It's nothing but our folder creation. Okay, it is not a big deal. So today we are going to create the storage account to explore these options as well. Okay, so that's what we are going to in details and exploring about the storage account as well and the network module as well. Okay, then after that, you have the load balancing concept as well. So typically the load balancing concept we are going to use for the application load balancing and all. Okay, so we just use this load balancing concept when we are going to end-to-end implementation. That also we are going to exploring. Okay, and if you can see this, virtual machines we have. So in infrastructure as service, this it will comes into the picture of infrastructure as service. Okay, so where we can able to use this VMs and the database. Okay, so Azure function and the op services. So we are going to little bit touch base this op services, the Azure functions as well, but we are keen uh, mm, focus is pass module Azure SQL database. So this is all about left side panel. So one thing I want to highlight here. Okay, so suppose that we have a Kickstart center is there. Okay, it is just for creating of learning of the things, the portal and all. Okay, so you can able to explore this one, some solutions and all. Okay, if you have troubleshoot the things. Okay, and we do have like resource group. Okay, so as I said yesterday, the resource group concept, and we do have the resources. As of now, I don't have any resource and resource group. Let's start today as a resource group and the resource group concept, including the storage account as well as the database. Okay, so hope you guys is understand. Okay, so what I want to tell here, so basically before going to fetch all these things, we just have to make sure that this next 2 to 3 days, okay, the terminologies. Okay, if you can see, yesterday we discussed about Azure portal. Okay, this is like web-based portal which we can able to give some your environment configuration and all. Okay, so post that will get in a subscription. Okay, so you may have different subscription in a single tenant ID, and you may have only one tenant ID uh, under one tenant ID we have multiple subscription. Okay, so that is depend upon business use case. Let's say one client may using for the two different subscriptions. Okay, so that you can able to explore it. Okay, so Azure SQL, Azure database, managed instance, firewalls, Active Directory, network, management studio, Azure PowerShell, CLI, monitor. These things we just need to have some glance of information and have some idea on that. Okay, so let's jump into this, creating of, a resource group. As I said, resource group is nothing but it is, uh, uh, pool boundary. Okay, so let's create that one. Okay, so what it is going to give the information. Okay, if you can just click on create resource group here. Okay, or else you do have, options here also you can able to create. Okay, so if you want to explore it, it is going to give the information what exactly the resource group. Okay, so let's create the resource group first of all. Then after that, we'll create the rest of the resources. Okay, this is in a resource group. See, let's go to this, same architecture design. Okay, we just create a, okay, so bunch of resource groups. Okay, so we created like, uh, this for this migration, this project is basically we have created nearly to the 7 resource groups. Okay, we have, AZ, okay, SQL, PRD, okay, so US region 2, okay, US RG1. Okay, likewise, we just created. So it means it is only we are going to create related to SQL related. Let's say we have created in a storage account. Okay, so we just, created storage account. Okay, so likewise we just created. Okay, and we created, again network. So here you can, instead of SQL, we go and create, VNet. Okay, and we just created for the only firewalls. Let's say you have to create, firewalls resource group. Okay, likewise we are going to create. Why we are going to create? Let's say if you are using only one instance, it will go under this resource group. Okay, under this resource group, right? Okay, so if you are creating storage account, you have to create under this resource group. If you are creating the networking option, we'll go for this, VNet. Firewalls. Okay, if you are creating firewalls to whitelist these things, okay, you just need to add into this firewall channel. Okay, so that's what, a vital role it is going to play. See, as I said, subscription is nothing but your entry point to all resource and resource group configuration. Okay, so as I said, okay, the hierarchy of your infrastructure is basically it is going to have, high level structure uh, like this. Okay, so this is basically typically what we are going to use your, organization account or your individual account, whatever you are going to take your tenant ID here. Okay, so that it is going to map your Azure Active Directory. So it is going to, the tenant ID is going to happening over here. Under this tenant, we have multiple resources. That's what, if you can see, it is in all resources in a subscription are built together. So whatever the resources it is going to available inside of your, tenant ID, it is going to build. Okay, so in a typical manner, how this structure is going to happen, this is your, subscription, right? So on top of it, once your tenant ID is available, you can create management group. Okay, so under one tree you have multiple branches, like this is, subscription, dev subscription. Okay, so let's say if you have, this is your uh, prod subscription. Okay, so your prod subscription. Okay, so let's say this is your, dev subscription. Okay, subscription. Likewise, you can able to segment. As I said, this one you can able to RG1. Okay, so SQL RG1. Okay, SQL RG1, and this is maybe SQL RG2, SQL RG2, it is in dev one. Likewise, we are going to segment. Okay, so if you can see this, every resource group having a multiple resources. Okay, so why they are going to maintain, one tenant in the multiple subscription? Let's say they want to segment to multiple subscription, or else instead of this they may be used for, region wise. Let's say they're having business into the US region. Okay, so in a US subscription and, India subscription. Okay, so they maybe have some business India as well. So like that they can able to. So within the use they can make this, resource group RG. Uh, West US and development RG and production RG also you can able to segment. It's depend upon the environment, the project requirement, the naming convenience. That is up to you how we are going to maintain. But typically in a high level, they're going to maintain like this. Okay, so why they are going to maintain these contests is basically okay. So to ensuring that to restrict the things. Okay, in a cloud landscape you do have architect, developer, DevOps team, database engineers, we do have security engineer, networking, right? So network engineers, there is no dependency with the database, right? So you can able to restrict that guy into the network level. So in a resource group level, resource level, so network is a resource, right? So you can able to restrict here the storage level, VM level. Okay, if you are the owner, you are authorized to do delete complete. Okay, only the uh, contributor also can able to do. Okay, so reader can do some active. So this is main agenda is to implement a role based access to avoid unwanted issues, and you can granular access. You are going to limiting the all the resource group subscription and tenant level also. So this is what the main agenda when you're using that resource group and all. Okay, so let's jump into this resource group concept. As I said, okay, so I'm just using typically what you we will use. First location we will use. Okay, so then after that which division environment, let's say we are going to use for the dev resource group, and what are the services you are going to use, SQL, and if you can give the numeric number. This is what recommended thing typically into the uh, resource group creation. I'll show that how the resource group it is going to happen. Okay, so let me pause this one. Okay, so all right, so we will follow this region, the environment and the services and the numeric number. Okay, we will use for the resource whatever. So if you can see the resource, a resource group is in a collection of resources that share the same life cycle, permission, the policies. So it means it is a one kind of pool, right? So in a pool we can use for the multiple resources. Okay, so uh, uh, it is a collection of all the resources it is indicating. So you can map this all the resources over here, right? So just rejoin. Okay, I'm just starting.